Hey guys, came across a quote through a podcast recently, basically saying if you leave your growth to randomness, you will always live in the land of mediocrity. And this struck me home in the sense of being a coach. And remember, I'm a coach, not just a PT. I work on trying to help you people get a lot of results. But we all, self-included, we all go through moments where we probably need to be reminded that just doing the same thing over and over again, or training at the same level, or exercising, because exercising is not training, with not actually pushing a few boundaries and trying to make some changes and work on developing and applying. We need to sort of consider those factors and remember, if you take that quote, like I said, if you leave your growth to chance, living in that land of mediocrity side of things, it's the same with the exercise scenario, where if you're not looking at trying to develop one of the exercises in the program that you've been doing for a bit, or a week or 2 weeks, and challenging the weight on that or challenging the reps, exercise is purely based on the principle of progressive overload. Essentially that means that there is a case of more reps or more weight or more sets, and there's different ways of approaching it, but let's not get too scientific about that at the moment. It is the same with food and nutrition. Sometimes it is a case of experimenting about, do you need more food in your diet to help you lose weight, or do you actually need to go into that less calories in, calories out scenario? Everyone's going to have different results, and they've got to experiment. You can't just sort of work on the same. You can't live in paleo unless there's a clinical issue. You can't live in keto unless there's a clinical issue. Things have to change. Your body will adapt. It's natural for it to do so. This is why we need to be focused on using different foods in different seasons. Again, that's a major issue. So I wanted to just bring home the message of, think about what you're eating. Think about your nutrition at home. If you are thinking about the fact that you've sort of plateaued a little bit around some weight loss, or tightening up, or changing the way your clothes fit on you, because you know me, I'm not a massive sort of use the scales kind of person. Then have a think about that, and what are you doing with your diet? Are you just plodding along? Have you got back into a little bit of a routine around your food, and do you need to reevaluate that routine? The same with the exercise side of things. Please consider, do you need to have a little bit more of a sit down with me and target more about what needs to happen on the program you're doing, or the guys using the Force 3 system I have on the board? Do we need to challenge a particular exercise and do a level up? Or do we need to consider the fact that maybe you are stronger than what we've been thinking you are, and you could nudge it 1.25 kilos extra? These kind of scenarios, to just make that little bit of change, guys, and to move away from that mediocre and the same, and to take that overload scenario, because the overload is where you bring in results. Remember, overload doesn't necessarily mean heavier or bigger. It just means what more can you do to make that subtle difference that doesn't necessarily kill you because you wake up and you can hardly move your arms the next day. Speak to you soon. Cheers.